of Boston Celtics fans making their way into the ACC. The diehards are here. Our producer is Paul Graham. Our director, the Hammer, Troy Clara, along with Matt Bloom, Jumpin' Johnny Russin. Fans are in a festive mood here.
Faster, stronger. That don't kill me, can only make me stronger. I need you to hurry up now, cause I can't wait much longer. I know I got to be right now, cause I can't get much longer. Man, I've been waiting all night now. That's how long I've been on ya.
Basketball fans! Stronger. Please welcome the starters for your Toronto Raptors! From Meridian Community College, a 6'8" forward, number 33, Jamario Moon. From Slovenia, a 7-foot center, number 12, Rasha Nastanovic. Out of Bradley, a 6'6" guard, number 18, Anthony Parker. From Spain, a 6'3" guard, numero 8, Jose Calderon. And from Georgia Tech, a 6'10" forward, number 4, Chris Bosh. Ladies and gentlemen, the head coach of your Toronto Raptors is
All right, so it's the Raptors and the Celtics for the third time of 4 meetings this season. And for the Boston Celtics, without Ray Allen, we're going to set the starting lineups.
Still pretty solid up front. Paul Pierce, Kendrick Perkins, Kevin Garnett, the power forward, matched up against Jamario Moon, Rasho Nastanovic, and Chris Bosh. In the backcourt, you'll see Rajon Rondo and Tony Allen up against Jose Calderon, who's been Mr. Double-Double as a starter, and Anthony Parker at the shooting guard.
Allen played big minutes and did a great job Friday night for Boston in their blowout victory over the Milwaukee Bucks. Doc Rivers, he's got this ball club right now at a very high level, an NBA best, but he told me prior to the ball game he's not satisfied.
No, he's pushing this club because he realized they just can't get comfortable, and part of that is that light schedule they have had to this point of the season.
And the head coach of the Raptors, Sam Mitchell, pushing all the right buttons, folks. His team, they've won 4 in a row, 8 of 11, and a come from behind 17-point deficit third quarter against Indiana and blew out the Pacers with 35 of the fourth quarter.
Well, Sam Mitchell has put his club in a great position heading out on this West Coast swing, Chuck. A win today would really put them where they need to be this early despite all the injuries.
Our IBM winning strategies.
Well, board and run. The Celtics are shorthanded. They're not that deep. You want to get out, but to do it, you have to get on the glass. Secondly, win at the line. The Raptors, 25 free throw attempts in their last 4 games. Coincidentally, they've won all 4. And payback, 3 and 28. A Ray Allen 3 to win at the Air Canada Center and a loss by 28 in Boston. It's time for payback.
Kevin Garnett. Well, he's got 11 double-doubles. He's 14th in the league in field goal percentage, 55%, 12th in the league in rebounds. And Paul Pierce, who had a magnificent ball game against Milwaukee, 32 against the Bucks, had 26 against Sacramento. So he's feeling it. And then you got Chris Bosh coming off a 22-point, 16-rebound game against Indiana. And how about Jose Calderon? Leo, last 5 games, 39 assists, only 4 turnovers.
Yeah, 16 assists against the Pacers, a career high.
So we are underway. And we thank all the fans for making it out here to the Air Canada Center. All things considered, Leo, we have a pretty good crowd.
Tremendous. You're right, considering it. I had to leave the dogs outside, Chuck, just to get to the arena.
Oh. I hope they're back in. Bosh comes up shooting, misfired, rebound, and it's Celtics basketball. Celtics averaging 101 points a game. They love to shoot the 3 as the Raptors do. But their defense has been the name of the game this year for the Boston Celtics. Perkins had the ball knocked out of his hands, and here comes Calderon, and did he carry? Yes, he did. Greg Willard, in his 20th year in the NBA, making the call.
Well, Calderon is saying that ball was knocked out of his hands, and that's why it came up a little higher. On the replay, we'll see if we can see the difference or see exactly how that play came about. Calderon dribbling the ball. Oh, good call by the officials.
Tony Allen slides on the baseline, giving it up to Pierce. Blows past Parker. The kick, a drive. Rondo, Garnett, and the 19-footer is good.
But Rondo is really playing well for the Celtic team, Chuck. He's giving guys like Garnett, Pierce, Ray Allen when he's in a lineup great looks, playing with a lot of confidence at that point guard position.
This is Jamario Moon, spots up and missed from 17 feet on that baseline. And Rondo, he doesn't need to score on this team. They have plenty of scores.
Yeah, and he doesn't need to force his game either. Take what the defense gives you, be aggressive.
Pierce looks to get to the line as much as he can. Flips a shot with the left hand, a scoop and a score.
Now, Jamario Moon's going to have to resist the temptation to block shots against Pierce. When it's an obvious, when he times it right, yes. But the rest of the time, Pierce is going to try to get him to leave his feet as much as possible.
Bosch, that shot partially blocked from behind. Boston holding the Raptors to only 39% shooting in the first two games of this series.
Well, that first game in Toronto, the Raptors that was part of their home court streak where they just couldn't play well offensively.
That's right, they had lost 3 in a row, but they have certainly turned it around of late. Here's Garnett with a rim shot.
I love the way he's playing. He's just going at it with such intensity. He's always been an intense guy, but he feels it now. He knows this is a team that could get him to the finals.
Bosch runs down that pass that went off his hands. 10 on the shot clock. Moon works off a Bosch screen. And on the switch, we got Pierce playing Bosch. Bosch exploding to the rim with a whistle and a foul, and CB4 will shoot 2.
And the right decision. Whenever the Raptors seem to struggle and not get things going, you've got to get the ball into Chris Bosch's hands, because this is what he'll do. He'll attack, he'll look to get into the paint and try to get the foul.
So Bosch, averaging 8 free throws attempts per game, is at the free throw line. One of the better free throw shooters on the Raptors club at 86%. And a 6-0 Boston lead.
Sam Mitchell staying on top of Bill Kennedy, just making sure that they're on the same page as far as the calls go.
Well, there was a lot of talking going on after that foul.
Chris Bosch playing outstanding during this win streak for the Raptors. 20 and 11, shooting close to 50% and getting to the line. And that's been the difference. When Chris Bosch gets to the line, the Raptors as a team get to the line, and they're just much more aggressive, and they command respect from the officials.
As Bosch, a couple of free throws, shooting close to 70%, in fact, over the last couple of ball games. Our first quarter right here on The Score. Brought to you by Capital One. What's in your wallet? I'd like to have Kevin Garnett's wallet. He was making $23 million, a league high this season.
That's not a wallet. That's about 100 wallets, Chuck.
That's a vault. What's in your vault? Brought to you by Capital One. So Jamario Moon to Bosch on an ISO against Perkins. Oh, he wants that ball. Calderon for 3, and you can ring it up from downtown Barrington, Nova Scotia. That goes to Wade Banks. Watching our game today right here on The Score.
Well, Chris Bosch very confident in his teammates, Chuck. He knows he doesn't have to force shots when the double comes or the help is really sagging off.
Here's a no-go. Raps looking to take their first lead of the game right here. Jamario Moon, the toss-out, intercepted by Tony Allen. Here is Allen, line to the lane, and he turned it over on a steal. And it's Calderon. And good decision and patience by Calderon. They did not have the numbers.
No, and he showed that against Indiana, Chuck, many times coming down the floor, holding it back out. This time, unfortunately, Bosch can't get it to stay.
Raptors start the ball game 1 for 5. Boston 3 of 5 at a foul as Garnett accepted the pass on the block. Bosch with the personal. Bosch did a pretty good job, all things considered, picking up 3 first-half fouls on Friday against Indiana. Really stayed out of foul trouble in that second half.
Oh, he's been around a long time, Chuck. He knows how to play with fouls. He just has to be careful on some of the fouls he does pick up early in the game.
Yeah, it's called poise, something Jermaine O'Neal did not have in a similar situation for Indiana in the foul department. Pierce on a pump, and a layup is good.
And there you see it again. If you try to jump with Pierce, he's going to play into that. He's going to get you to leave your feet every chance. He's going to come into your body. You have to stay down and play with your feet all the time.
Crafty veteran out of Kansas, now in his 10th season. Calderon had the ball poked out of his hands from behind by Rajon Rondo. And with 7:40 to go in the first quarter, 8-7 Boston. Boy, Calderon just putting up some mind-boggling numbers at the point.
He's just a low turnover guy that makes a good decision seemingly every time he's got the ball in his hands.
Doc Rivers raved about him prior to the game. His vision, Parker, Nesterovic.
Well, Allen got a piece of that.
Yep, and then a shot clock violation. How about the play of Tony Allen? Leo, here's a guy that busted up his knee a year ago, tore his ACL, missed the last 48 games, and he has come on strong now with the absence of Ray Allen.
Well, even early in the season, Chuck, they said it wasn't a question of his knee. His knee's fine. It was between his ears, how he was going to handle the injury. He's just got to get over it and play hard, and right now he's doing that.
Pierce, they really want this matchup against Jamario Moon.
And see, right now he's got Jamario Moon thinking. Jamario Moon's not sure if he should jump, what he should do. And that's the experience of Paul Pierce.
So, do you bring Delfino?
I think that's what Sam Mitchell's going to do. Chuck Swirsky wants Delfino. Here comes Delfino.
Well, let's see. This is Calderon with mid-range jumper.
This is a matchup the Raptors can exploit. TJ Ford has given Rajon Rondo fits, and so has Calderon.
And a foul on the floor as Tony Allen turned the corner on the baseline. And Carlos Delfino took 7 stitches above that left eye on Friday night. And he comes in for Jamario Moon.
He wasn't upset about the stitches. He was upset about the fact that he had to come out of the game to get the stitches. You're talking about a tough competitor, or Jamario Moon off to a little bit of a slow start here.
Delfino in for Moon. And this is Paul Pierce. Weaving, stopping, Garnett. Catch and shoot, short, hit front iron, 10-7 Boston. Raptors 2 of 7 as Calderon receives a play from head coach Sam Mitchell. Calderon working the rock against Rondo. Delfino shooting only 29% the past 4 games, and we've got a whistle. 3-second defensive violation.
The other night against Indiana, Delfino driving into the lane. Jermaine O'Neal steps in and hard hit, and as he goes down, the blood started streaming from his eye.
He was bleeding profusely.
Yes, Chuck, I believe that would be the correct term. Here it is. Here it is.
So he went back into the locker room, got 7 stitches.
He's a tough guy. He just comes out and plays, and stitches or no stitches, he's going to bring that toughness on the floor.
Calderon looks at the shot clock. They beat Bosch. Wide on the left. Rimmed out. Weak side rebound. Rasho Nesterovic to a cutting Bosch. Layup, no. And he will shoot 2. You can wave off the hoop on that second attempt by CB4. How about the play of Nesterovic?
Well, Rasho knew Bosch was going to take the shot. What are you going to do? You're going to stand and watch or go get the offensive rebound, and went to the most logical place that ball was going to bounce off, the opposite side. Great position. Well, Rasho's been one of the guys, Chuck, that during this 4-game winning streak, kind of an unheralded player. I think he's been tremendous. He's rebounding. He's playing with position. He's working. He keeps the defense honest with his shot. And when he gets that rebound, he creates opportunities for his teammates.
We get so focused in, especially fantasy players and whatnot, they get so hung up on stats, Leo, and what happens off the ball, the way you set screens, the way you box out, the way you keep tips alive.
Yeah, and Rasho's not a numbers guy from the standpoint that he's not going to impress you with huge numbers, and he's not concerned about numbers. He's concerned about trying to do the right thing on the floor. If that means he gets shots or doesn't get shots, it doesn't make a difference. He just plays. And really, you could say that about this entire team, Chuck. You don't have a lot of guys with their heads in the numbers on this Raptors group.
Rondo left open after the double on Kevin Garnett. If Rondo can make that shot, because he came into the league with a question mark, can he hit shots?
Well, remember, his coach is a former point guard, Doc Rivers, and Doc Rivers has made it clear to him, you have to keep the defense honest and get your open looks.
Good defense by Tony Allen on Anthony Parker. Paul Pierce last year banged up. They went 2-22 without him. Darts inside, no tip, no. Rebound Bosch, and it's Delfino on the run. Delfino, the trailer, Nesterovic. Wide open, Parker, 3-ball, bang!
We just talked about Nesterovic. There's a great example of what he's all about. He ran the floor. He knew where Parker was as soon as he got it to give him that open shot.
Rasho's second assist of the afternoon. Boston by 1. They clear the side. Pierce against Delfino. Paul Pierce is fouled. Typical Paul Pierce. He hears the whistle. I'm just tossing it up, and he will get 2. So Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce, the 1-2 combo with Allen out of the lineup with an ankle injury. Our Ford Coach's Edge featuring the head coach of the Raptors, Sam Mitchell, on the Boston Celtics in Game 3 of this series.
Well, I think if we can go back and do what we did against those guys first game. We didn't shoot the ball well, but we took it, made it an overtime game. Having Chris would definitely help. Having Andrea help, so hopefully Andrea will get a few more games under his belt. He started getting close to normal. We're going to miss TJ. I doubt if he will play at that time, but you never know. But if we can be healthy and go out and play and execute, and then we're going to have to throw bodies at Kevin. You know, Rasho's going to have to guard him. Chris is going to have to guard him. Andrea's going to have to guard him. Try to wear him down, and then we got to attack him on our offense. We got to run a lot of sets and plays at him. Make him use energy on both sides of the court, of the ball, and we'll have a chance to win the game.
Oh, very important. Sam Mitchell knows even if you're playing a high-energy guy like Garnett, doesn't mean you can't wear him down and make him more fatigued. And as he said, put him in screens, put him in situations where he's got to step away from the basket. Don't let him stay in his comfort zone throughout the ballgame. And also adjustments to who he's guarding. Earlier, coming down the floor, Rasho Nesterovic talked about his presence on the floor. He came down the middle. He knew exactly where Anthony Parker was. Anthony had all the time in the world to make that shot, Chuck. Just a good team play by Rasho Nesterovic.
So Rasho Nesterovic with a couple of assists in the ball game, 14-11. Boston. Paul Pierce has 8 of those first quarter points. Calderon with 5 in the opening quarter, and they trap him. And Bosch with a power move to the rim, up and popped out. And he goes back to the free throw line for appearances number 5 and 6 in the quarter.
Well, Kevin Garnett playing to the side of Bosch, and instant recognition by Chris. As that ball comes back to him here, watch Garnett's position. He's angling, there's no help coming, and Bosch went right to the basket. A little upset with himself, saying, man, I just don't miss those.
So Garnett picks up his first with Bosch at the free throw line. Bosch with his 10th double-double against the Pacers of 22 and 16.
I like what he said after the game against Indiana. He had big numbers early in the game when the Raptors were really struggling. And he said later on, he didn't have to score. Capone's knocking the shots. Humphries is playing well. That's when I can create opportunities for my teammates instead of worrying about scoring. And that's where it gets back to that comment earlier, Chuck, that the Raptors are not a numbers team. You don't have guys preoccupied with their stats. They're preoccupied with winning.
Stats on the Raptors, 4 of 7 from the line. They came in second in the league in free throws, so hopefully they'll pick that up in a close game against Boston. Rondo, same spot, same delivery, and his second bucket of the quarter. So they've elected to double, and Rondo has made a couple of shots here just to keep the Raptors honest, making those mid-range jumpers.
Kevin Garnett showing his ability to find the open man as well.
And a deflection off the Calderon pass. Here's Rondo. Rondo going upstairs and a one-handed jam. Kevin Garnett eating some Raptor rim here in Toronto. Oh, my goodness.
Rondo returning the favor, saying, hey, Kevin, you keep giving me those jumpers. I'm going to take care of you as well, big fella.
Delfino. Parker. And the pull-up. And Garnett with the quick, snappy outlet pass to Rondo. He's going to take it to the cup. Put up a wild shot. There's Perkins with the offensive putback and a dunk.
With Doc Rivers up, he thought his point guard, Rajon Rondo, got fouled in that play, and there was a lot of contact. Celtics 9 of 14 here in the first.
8-1 run for the Celtics, who lead by 8. Delfino for 3, way short. Bosch battling for the rebound, picks it up off the floor. New shot clock at 24 at the 3-minute mark right here on the score. Chuck Swirsky, Leo Rollins, good to have you with us on a snowy afternoon in the greater Toronto area. Parker spots up, free ball. Anthony Parker.
Well, Bosch again in traffic. Chuck doesn't force the shot, instead finds the easy, wide open shot for Anthony Parker.
Parker's second triple. And we have whistle off the ball. Then he's going to call this on Garnett. Yes, it's going to be number 2.
Great job
Kevin
by
Garnett.
Nesterovic fighting, taking Garnett's position away.
So Garnett with a few words to Greg Willard. But the Raptors and Boston hook it up in transition with Garnett in the dunk, and then Rondo to the rim. Nope, but there's Kendrick Perkins with the putback dunk.
With TJ Ford. TJ, obviously the first question is, how are you feeling at this point?
I'm feeling a lot better. I woke up today and felt better than I did the last couple of days. So we're making a big progress, and we just continue to just take our time and let my body heal.
Does this scare you when you think of the potential consequences or what you're going through? Is there a lot of fear involved with this?
No, I think the biggest fear I had is when I actually fell to the ground, and I always said I never wanted to be carried off on a stretcher again. And anytime you have to be carried on a stretcher, you pretty much feel that your career is over. But after all the exams and all the tests, I didn't damage anything. So I just continue to just stay positive and try to just get my body right and get back out on the court.
Easier to stay positive with the response of the fans for you?
Definitely. That definitely, I'm glad that people, sent out a lot of prayers to me and definitely, helped me get through this process, because it definitely was a tough time.
Look forward to seeing you back. Thanks.
Thanks.
All right, so that's TJ Ford, and Ford stats on the season with averaging and double-figure scoring, close to 7 assists per game, but the field goal percentage almost 49% in 26 minutes. Big Baby Davis on the floor now. He just picked up his first foul. Parker, who's had a hot hand in the quarter, and that's a no-go, and rebounded by Kendrick Perkins. Davis played very well off the bench for Doc Rivers' team at a 16-9 game the other night. He handles the rock, uses the left hand, and scores. He is a big man. They compare him to Barkley from the stature standpoint, certainly not as far as skill level yet. And Chris Humphries, nope, rebounded by Perkins and Allen. So you've got Perkins along with Pierce, Allen, Tony Allen that is, Rondo and Davis. There's Pierce on the baseline. He is fouled, going on a reverse. We got Jason Capono checking in for the Raptors. He has been on fire. Absolute torrid scoring. 17 in the fourth quarter, career high 29 against Indiana, coming in for Delfino.
What I just love is when he's one of those guys, when he gets streaky, watch out. And think about this, when Bosch is playing well, Humphries is playing well, when you got other guys that attract attention, it's going to create all kinds of open opportunities for Jason Capono. And Chuck, when he gets it going, as he did the other night against Indiana, watch out.
As Delfino collects his second personal, and you're right, Leo. And he was saying, hey, I was screaming for the ball. They said, but you're 35 feet away. He says, I don't care. I don't make it anyway.
Chuck, when you get in one of those zones, that basket looks like 5 times as big. It's just a huge opening, and you just go for it.
Here is Bosch to the cup, and he draws another foul, and the Raptors have found maybe a weakness on the part of this Boston defense, because Bosch has taken it to the cup with authority. This will be number 7 and 8 at the line already this quarter alone, matching his season average for an entire game.
Especially matched up against Davis. There's a quickness factor, and Bosch has to exploit that. The Raptors, as we talked about, in their 4 wins, 25 free throw attempts per game. So that's the key. You've got to get to the line, and Bosch is your number 1 guy.
And for Glenn Davis, that's going to be his second. Raptors dead last in free throw attempts at 19 per game. When Bosch left for those 5 games later. They really missed him.
Major drop-off, and you can see the difference between what they've done over the last 4 games and that season average. And keep in mind, the Raptors are among the best free throw shooting teams in the league, so they need to get there as often as possible.
So Chris Bosh with 6. It's 24-17 Boston. Pierce guarded out in front by Parker. You've got Allen. They go underneath to Davis. Rondo slicing inside with a runner. Rimmed out. Rebounded Bosh.
The Raptors in a bit of a matchup zone there, Chuck. A little confusion for Boston.
We're going to talk about that matchup zone when the Raps go back on defense. Let's see what Humphries creates here. Stops, pops, missed, rebound, Boston in transition with Rondo running the floor. To the cup, Tony Allen giving it back to Rondo. All right, Leo, tell me about a matchup zone.
We'll see what happens here. Posey, he was deadly against the Raptors in their first meeting here at the Air Canada Center, especially late in the game. But matchup zone, Chuck, unlike a regular zone where you're covering a man in your area, matchup zone, you're going to take a man that's in your area and stay with them till you literally hand them off to somebody else. So it's a little bit confusing for the defense or offense sometimes. What are they saying, man-to-man or zone?
Well, it's 27-17 Boston, and the Celtics with their biggest lead of the ball game. And we're down to the final 12 seconds. No TJ Ford for the Raptors. You just saw the interview with Leo, and no Ray Allen for Boston, who's missed a couple of ball games now with an ankle injury. Could miss another game for the Celtics as well. Tony Allen on a bump, a long 3 air. And at the end of the first quarter, Paul Pierce in double figures with 10. And the Celtics 19-2, going for victory number 20 here in Toronto. They have won 8 in a row, taking on a red-hot Raptor team as well. They've won 8 of 11 and 4 straight. Bosh leading the Raptors with 6 points, 3 rebounds. While he's 0 for 4 from the floor, he's managed 6 free throws on the night. So we'll return in a moment right here on The Score. And welcome back. Our President's Choice first quarter stats.
Celtics 61%. Raptors started this game off like they did their first meeting against Boston here at the ACC, shooting just 23%. Although the Raptors getting their free throw line boards as well advantage Boston.
Leo, we talked about the crowd here is fantastic. It started snowing about 10 o'clock last night, continued as we speak. You know, our director, Troy Clara, he actually thought he was going to go to a curling event. He brought his broom to the Air Canada Center. I said, Troy, you got to work today. You got a couple hours in the truck. It's all good.
I could have used it on my walk over here, Chuck. Unbelievable. I didn't actually expect this many fans would actually show up to the game based on the conditions.
Well, it's very, very nice that the fans turned out.
Well, Baby Davis again getting it done. You mentioned a comparison to Barkley. Certainly not a Charles Barkley, but the body type, it makes you think of Barkley, and very physical, and he's getting in better shape too.
Well, he's guarding Bosh, and I'd like to see Bosh really take advantage of this matchup. Maybe work inside on him. Davis already with a couple of fouls in the first half. Here's Pierce giving it up, and there's contact, and Davis is going to the stripe. He went 10 for 10 from the line the other night against Sacramento. As Bosh picks up his second, he's going to leave for Andrea Bargnani.
Well, Pierce just looked over to his teammates on the bench and said, hey, did you see that pass? That little lefty? I flipped it over.
Now, Leo, I got to ask you about Andrea Bargnani. Getting a lot of emails from our viewers saying, what's happening with Andrea Bargnani?
He's struggling, obviously, but I think he's going to come out of. There are a lot of factors to his struggles. Get into it in a little bit.
So with Big Baby Davis at the free throw line, funny we should mention Big Baby Davis at the free throw line because
funny we should mention what you did prior to game time. Go ahead. I want you to tell everybody out there, Chuck, that you went up to him and said, you're my Gatorade guy.
And he says, tell me. And I said, well, it's about 2 players who could have an impact. And so he goes, oh, that's nice of you to do that.
Yeah, and I didn't say a word to Humphries. I'm just going to let him do his own thing there, Chuck. But you went and gave him all that info.
Yes.
Hump's just going on hard.
Davis off the bench with 5. So he's an early candidate for our Gatorade Game X Factor.
Now, let's talk about Bargnani a bit here, Chuck.
Yes.
I think that the play of Humphries is a factor for Bargnani's confidence. Humphries is coming in, he's playing well. Bargnani struggled with the injury, his shot's not there. And I think the expectations of this season. You know, a lot of people are talking that after a great rookie year, Bargnani was just going to come in and almost have all-star status this season. But he's a young guy. He also struggled this summer playing for Italy. You know, it wasn't a great summer for him. And I think he's got to pick his confidence up, and the way to do it is just play hard and not worry. He's a talented guy. Just got to get out there and just work hard every minute he's on the floor.
Posey with his second triple. It's a great pickup. He signed a 2-year deal with a 1-year opt-out after this year. So Boston bringing it. They're up by 16. And we played 90 seconds thus far in the second quarter. Celtics dominating on the road. Well, Mother Nature doing her thing big time. I guess Mother Nature's giving Toronto a facial today. You think? So, hey, if you're home and enjoying the game on the score, by all means, you know, the rest of the afternoon, just hang around and enjoy NBA ball. And a lot of fans are enjoying what's going on in the Atlantic because you've got the Celtics back because they missed the playoffs over the last 3 years. And the Raptors really the only legitimate team in this division, in my opinion, that can unseat them thus far.
Yeah, and New Jersey, the other likely one, struggling, just not playing good basketball. Raptors, the Atlantic Division champions last season. Celtics saying, hey, we won it. And right now they're showing how good they can be early in this game.
Boston on a 21-6 run. The Raptors only 4 of 20 in the ball game. Humphries couldn't find anybody and threw it away. And it's Eddie House to the cup. Tony Allen swatted away by Chris Humphries. What a block by Hump. But Boston's Eddie House filling it up with that quick release.
Yeah, when you block a shot, the last person you want that ball to come to is Eddie House on a play like that. But the Raptors, they're going to get more movement, Chuck. So you just can't make one pass and try to create something. Not against a very good defensive team like Boston.
Raps have turned it over 5 times. Juan Dixon trying to create the jumper. No. Rebound, James Posey. So the Raptors' shooting problems continue. 4 of 21. That's 19%. Matching the weather outside for sure.
Well, again, you're taking those quick shots and nobody rebounding. And at the other end, Boston's getting some great looks. You need to have a little bit more patience if you're Toronto.
Celtics at 61%. Dixon pressured out in front. Andrea Bargnani bobbled it. Did he carry? Yes, he did. Happened right in front of me. Leo, you are bang on. This young man's playing with zero confidence.
And how do you get out of that? You try to do little things to build up your confidence, whether it's rebounding, getting a steal, making a nice pass, but keep the game simple until you start feeling a little bit better about the things you have to do. And you keep shooting it. The guy's a shooter. You've got to shoot the ball with confidence. Just go up and take it.
Another stat that's troublesome for the Raptors. 16-0 Boston points in the paint. Pierce with the send out. Eddie House slashes, stops, pops, missed, rebound Humphries.
You know, we're seeing with this Boston team, everybody said there's only 3 guys in this team, Garnett, Pierce, and Allen. And that's proving to be wrong. They're showing some depth. Danny Ainge doing a good job with this team, bringing a nice job by Humphries there, but Danny Ainge doing a good job. You know, Baby Davis, you talked about him. You got Tony Allen coming back from the knee injury. James Posey has been a great pickup for them, including Eddie House. Here's a guy that can fill it up. When you got guys like Garnett, Pierce on the floor, Eddie House is going to get a lot of open looks.
And these satellite players, in other words, role players, they want to play for the Celtics because they feel they have a legitimate shot at going deep, perhaps to the finals for the first time in 20 years.
If I'm a role player and I could be on the floor with guys like Pierce and Garnett, you're going to get a lot of great shots. Bosch and Calderon trying to figure out what they can do if they get back in there.
Bargnani flat on the 3. Paul Pierce with a stop and go. Oh my goodness. Big Baby Davis just gave Parker a forearm in the chops and no foul was called, and Parker is looking at Bill Kennedy saying, you got to be kidding me.
Foul call, Raptors number 3.
Davis is a big physical guy. As he's coming through, right there is the hit, and Parker just got whacked.
The Patriots are playing the Jets today. Is he playing for Doc or Bill Belichick?
I don't know. Let's check the secret video, Chuck.
Garnett back on the floor. Pierce leaves with 12. Parker making sure all the chiclets are there, to use hockey terminology. And Jamario Moon is on the floor. Moon, by the way, with 16 consecutive games with a blocked shot. Team record is 21.
Nice pass.
What do we have here? An offensive foul? Or 3 in the key? 3 in the key.
Well, this is just a heads-up play. House saving that play, and
that looked like a Tom Brady pass.
Yeah, that's a smart play by House.
And it had something on it, Leo. It just wasn't a floating pass. That was a flop on Davis. Here's Humphries. Moon. 10 on the clock. And Jamario Moon, that ball went off his foot. He recovers. And then a pass off the hands of Davis out of bounds with 6 on the shot clock.
One of the things that Sam Mitchell told his guys against Indiana after the first half the other day was shoot the ball with confidence. Just don't be afraid to take shots. Right now, the Raptors are playing like they're afraid to make plays.
I mean, Leo, in the games, that's an air ball by Dixon. Leo, this is the 3rd time we've seen Boston. In all 3 occasions, the Raptors have played very tight. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
I mean, even in Toronto.
That first meeting against the Celtics was one of the worst offensive games.
Is it just it's Boston, or is it just a bad matchup for the Raps?
Again, you got to give Boston credit. This is what they've been doing to the entire NBA here in the early season.
Kevin Garnett and the Celtics shooting 62%. They've blown this baby wide open in the first half. 40-19 with 7:02 to go in the first half.
You're looking at some of the all-time best records after 20 games, and what some of those teams have done. Only one team getting that early exit, that's Seattle. And 7 other teams have started 18-2, 2-1 titles.
Yeah, we talk about Garnett being rejuvenated because he's with the new club along with Ray Allen. Paul Pierce, this is outstanding for Pierce to be with the team because his emotions last year were running on empty, Leo.
He's had so much pressure to try to carry this team, and he's not a real verbal guy. He's not the guy that's going to be the leader that's going to pull everybody together, but he's the guy that can lead you by how he plays the game. And now he's got a supporting cast. You can't have as much pressure on him. And he's really relished this opportunity to just go out there, play basketball, and not have the world on his shoulders.
Bosch and Calderon return for the Raptors. Calderon with 5 points and 0 assists.
Well, right now what the Raptors have to do is stop feeding the Boston defense, meaning that they just can't take one shot, make one pass and take a shot. This Boston defense is far too good for that. You have to make the move, you got to set screens, and you got to swing the ball.
Jamario Moon. Moon weaving off. Finds Calderon, the jumper. No. And it's loose, and it went off Toronto out of bounds. That's 5 of 26 of the ball game for the Raptors. 1 for 9 here in the second period with 6:43 to go.
And Boston very content. They're packing in the paint. You mentioned the points in the paint, 18-2 in favor of the Celtics. They're going to pack it in and let the Raptors continue to shoot all the jump shots they want as long as they get a hand up.
Garnett turns, shoots, squares up. No. Rebound Humphries. Calderon whips the pass to Jamario Moon. Capono.
Not on balance at all. Capono rushed that one.
Let's see, Leo, the bench for the Raptors, 1, 4, 6, 10, 12. They are 1 for 12, the bench.
Well, and the bench has been the key for the Raptors this season. They've been able to come into games when the team is struggling and make things happen, but not right now.
Boston up 40-19. Tony Allen working off a Garnett screen. Posey's already drained 2 threes in the game. 6 on the clock. Tony Allen change of direction, dribble drive, the pitch out. Posey. And it's Calderon. Moon. Yes. Mario Moon in the books with his first two. Boston, they've allowed only 87 points a game. That's number one in the league, and teams are shooting just 41%. Nice pass. Missed the layup. Whistle late and a foul. Boy, Bill Kennedy with a very late whistle against Jason Capoto. So we'll return in a moment. It's been a frustrating first half for Sam Mitchell and the Raptors right here on The Score. Blizzard here, big time.
It's frightful outside, Chuck.
Yes.
But for the Raptors, it's even more frightful inside right now.
Absolutely, 21% shooting, down 40-21. And you and Leo, this brings us to our Fido Ask the Expert. You are the expert, of course.
No, Chuck. Right now, you are the expert. Here's the question. What is the NBA policy for canceling a home game? And this is from Mourne in Thornhill, Ontario. And Chuck, the expert, did his research prior to game time, and he's got the official answer.
Well, it's an NBA policy. If both teams are in the city and can make it to the arena, which they did, there is an NBA game. The officials made it. They were in town the night before, so we have an NBA game. So the ticket policy, there are no refunds because there is an NBA game. We have an outstanding crowd, all things considered. Now, Leo.
And you know how many games have been canceled in the last 4 years?
How many?
5.
5. Okay, 5. Because of the weather. Or postponed.
Including Toronto at Washington in 2003. How about that, Chuck? You're the expert, but I did my homework.
Yes, you did. Now, Leo, I did a ball game. I was the PA announcer for the Bulls for 3 years. There was a game in 1980 with the Bulls and the Nets, and there was incredible snow in Chicago. David Greenwood, who played for the Bulls, came up to me just prior to the tip and said, Chuck, you better do yourself a favor. Introduce the crowd, then introduce us.
And did you?
Absolutely. Well, let's see. In section 111, there's Jane, and there's Joe. Hey, Matt, we can't forget about you. You're in the 4th row. Meantime, there's a lot of activity going on near the rim, Leo.
Boston doing a great job of contesting everything. Bosch goes up, and Garnett quickly to the hoop.
Raps 6 of 30.
They just have to have a little bit more patience in their offense. They're struggling right now, but you're not going to get it by taking quick shots. Take your time, one possession at a time. There's a lot of basketball left to play in this game, but you can't do it all at once.
Absolutely. There's nothing like a 19-point shot, is there?
Not that I know of.
Capono, Bosch splits the defense, and he got fouled by Posey.
Well, there you go. See, Capono doing a real good job pulling the defense, fake the shot, get it inside.
The Raptors have been involved with a few hard fouls already this season. I think Bosch has had enough.
Well, this is actually good right now, Chuck. Posey is a player that has an edge to him. He will be physical. He doesn't have a problem with laying the wood on somebody right here. And Bosch getting inside, and maybe this is what the Raptors need. A little contact, a little extra to get them going.
Well, the official, in this case, Ed Malloy, said that was just a hard foul, not a flagrant one. We have a busy week of basketball coming your way on The Score, starting Tuesday, 10:30 with the Clippers. And then on Wednesday, we're going to be in Portland, Oregon, also on The Score for that red-hot Blazer team. Brandon Roy is going off the charts. And then in Seattle on Friday night, Raptors NBA TV.
Is there going to be a parade as Chuck Swirsky comes home? Is there going to be a parade in Seattle?
No. A lot of Christmas shopping now. 40-23 Boston. Rondo beats Calderon off the dribble. A whirling shot and a score.
It's just too easy. You got to be careful when you pressure a guy like Rondo, Chuck. You know, he's getting better shooting the basketball, but that's what you want him to do. So get off him a little bit, bother him, but stay between him and the basket, get a hand on him. You don't want him driving all the way.
Calderon. And Capono, did it go off him or Boston? Boston out of bounds. Now we're going to have Delfino return, and Paul Pierce comes on the floor, so Tony Allen will leave.
Here's the game for Tony Allen.
And Jamario Moon runs off the floor. He was into the reps, had 6 players. That's the way of getting back in the ball game, Leo. I mean, you're down by 19, play with 6 on 5.
Yeah, surely right now anything would help Toronto. Sam Mitchell has, just looking at his face right now, Chuck, he's no idea what's going on with his offense right now. Guys are just playing as if they haven't played with one another.
Capono. Bosh, beautiful offensive rebound. But the no-look to Capono to Humphries. Humphries wants to take on Garnett on the baseline. Bobble the ball, turns, shoots, and scores. Not pretty, but effective, but Bosh made that play with the board.
Yeah, you got to hustle, you got to go after it, and you got to attack Garnett. Don't shy away from him. He may be a great player, but that doesn't mean you show him that much respect that you don't attack it and go at his body.
Perkins. Remember, Bosh is playing with 2 fouls. Kendrick Perkins with a baby hook.
It's just too easy right now. Everything Boston wants to do, they're doing. The Raptors have to get some toughness at the defensive end of the floor.
22 to 4 points in the paint for the Celtics. And the ball poked out of Coleman's hands from behind by Rondo.
Bosh getting in there with the offensive glass. Good hustle. And Chris Humphries playing well as of late, able to go at Garnett. Soft touch to finish. And Bosh said, let's go. Let's get it going right now. Let's pick this up.
We're going to break here on the score. 44-25 Boston first half. Next couple of weeks for the Raptors, very, very busy. Sam Mitchell, the head coach of the Raps, he knows the importance of going on the road and getting it done.
Well, it's a continuation. Obviously, it's important because we have so many games, and the teams out there are playing well. The Clippers are playing pretty good. Portland's playing well. Seattle's been up and down. Phoenix, we know how good they are. San Antonio. So we got some tough games, but there's also some games that we can win. You look at our schedule. If we're healthy, we feel like we can beat everybody on our schedule. And we just got to go out and be focused. We've been a pretty good team on the road so far. Obviously, long road trips can get you a little bit, but our guys got to be focused. We got to take care of our bodies and our minds. And if we go out and play well and execute, we can win on the road.
Nice after timeout play, Leo, but when you look at the big picture here, what's been the problem today? You think they're looking ahead, or, you got Boston.
Well, they're not doing the job defensively. They're not playing physical and tough enough against this Boston Celtics team. There's another example, getting inside. Fortunately, Perkins misses. And offensively, Raptors just not showing enough patience to get good shots.
They got Boston, so they can't be contemplating the road trip. This is nice high-low feed on a pin down by Humphries, but
you have to wonder, the focus. Everybody talks about the focus on the road, but Sam Mitchell also knows that, hey, it's almost Christmas time. You're going away for a week. Some of that focus could be lost in this game, and no Ray Allen on the floor because of all the preparation and takeoff. And that's something as a coach you fear, you try to avoid, you try to tell the guys what you need to do. Think about it. You're 14-10 right now, despite all the injuries. That's tremendous. If you can get a W here, you're 15-10, then you go on this road trip, puts you in a whole different position.
I know, but Leo, you got Boston coming to town. You got to be focused for Boston.
I agree with you, Chuck, but you and I both know it's a long season and all kinds of things happen. Right now, the Raptors don't look very focused. Doc Rivers' team, as they have every game this season, they have come to play. And that's the veteran leadership of Kevin Garnett, who makes no excuses. And Paul Pierce, you've got to go. You've got to be ready to play every time out.
So Chris Humphries, as it rattles and drops, our Capital One at the half. We're going to hear from Derek Snyder of The Score. We'll find out what's going on around the National Football League. Mike Evans, the assistant coach of the Raps, will join us as well. There's a good look at Mike Evans, first year on the bench, former head coach of the Denver Nuggets, played in the NBA as well. Raps only 9 of 13 from the line, 69%. They are down by 14. Make it 16. Here's a cross-court pass. Rondo. Nice job, Rajon Rondo.
Well, good decision, Chuck. Remember, he's made a couple of shots from that spot, faked the shot, and put the ball on the floor. Celtics are just playing with a lot of poise. They're not rushing anything offensively. They're getting good opportunities every time they come down.
Humphries, a power move, and a layup is missed, but a chip is good. Vintage Moses Malone. Miss a shot, get the rebound, make a bucket.
Pad the stats. Good second effort right there. Chris Humphries just going after it.
Hump with 7.6 rebounds. Rondo.
And again, I think Jose Calderon has to make an adjustment.
What adjustment, Leo? Because Rondo's looking to beat him off the dribble.
But that's what he wants to do, Chuck. He's a player that relies on quickness. Get off him a little bit because you can always recover and get a hand up and contest the shot, but you don't want to give up drives.
And see, this is a game where the Raps missed TJ Ford, who had 32. That's a triple for Calderon because Rondo can't guard TJ Ford.
Well, right now, you're looking at a 15-point game. TJ Ford wishes he could be out there, but 15-point game is not the end of the world. Raptors can't play much worse than they have played. Remember against Indiana the other day, Raptors were down as much as 17 in that game.
Garnett with his 8th point in the ball game. 50-33 with 43 seconds remaining. And the mid-range jumper is up and good. So Chris Bosh, he's got 10 points, 5 boards in the first half. Only 1 for 70 after he makes his first bucket in 19 minutes. Here's Pierce hiding behind Garnett. Pierce in the pocket. Posey on a pump and a 3-ball air. And down the floor, leaking out as Capono taps it, and then Posey, it went off James Posey at a bounce. Sloppy ball handling, but the Raps retain with 20 seconds remaining in the half.
Number 42, Tony.
Raptors, nice job by Capono to force a tough shot. Humphries, dangerous pass right there, but Capono and Bosh hustling.
So let's see, Davis is coming in for Garnett, who leads with 2 personals. No sense in picking up a careless 3rd foul with just 20 seconds remaining in the half with your team up by 15. Capono looking for Bosh and finds him. Calderon went to the floor, wanted a foul as play continues. We're down to the final 9 seconds. Calderon. Boston has a foul to give, and he's sent to the floor by Rondo, dragged to the court. He gives us a look here at the scores table. You know what, Jose? I wish we could help you out there. But
he took a hit from Perkins, and now gets knocked down to the floor by Rondo. And there's the hit from Perkins. Calderon talking to officials saying, what's going on here?
Glenn Davis has picked up his 3rd with 4.5 seconds to go. And this will put the Raps at the free throw line with Bosh, who's been there 10 times already with Calderon.
Chuck, what the Raptors have to do right now, you know, Calderon's getting knocked around a little bit, and Chris Bosh has been roughed up. You got to answer the call. Celtics team is coming in here with a lot of pride. They're feeling good about themselves. They're dishing out the contact. You have to take it and dish out some to yourself. And their coach for the Raptors, Sam Mitchell, he was a player that he'd have no problem dishing it out. And right now he wants to see his team respond the same way he would if he was on the floor. You want to fight? Let's fight.
Number 3, Juan Dixon back in for Toronto.
We've got Juan Dixon coming in. They're going small, Boston is, to get their 3-point shooters in with 4.5 seconds. And Leo, you know, I think as far as, you know, if the Raps make this free throw and Boston doesn't score, you go into the locker room down by 13, all things considered. You know, you trail by as many as 21.
I think you're still in a situation where if you come to play in the second half, you're at home, you're in a winnable game. But right now the Raptors have to regroup and understand that the Celtics are not going to hand them this game. Sam Mitchell wants his guys to get tough and get aggressive.
Well, Nicole Capono with a push in the back. And the Raps had a foul to give, so 4.5 seconds remaining. 50-36 Boston. See what the Celtics run here with Rondo. Rondo on a drive. Rondo, the pitch out, and he threw it away. They should reset the clock. No, they don't. So Kevin Garnett with 8 points, 4 boards, 3 assists. And Paul Pierce has poured in 12 first-half points, and the Celtics go in the locker room, leading by 14 as the Raptors can muster only 29% shooting in the first half of their home court. We'll return on The Score from the Air Canada Center in just a moment. So I think the players, they're ready. The officials are ready. The roof is ready, more importantly, Leo. Forget about the players and the broadcasters. It's all about the roof.
Well, whoever fixed the roof, that should be our impact player right there. There's no game without that guy. He's the X factor.
So for the Raptors, Parker, Bosch, Moon, Nesterovic, and Calderon, Rondo, Garnett, Perkins, Allen, and Pierce.
Now, let's see who comes out here in this third quarter. As well as the Celtics have played, Chuck, over the last 8 games, their average scores, Garnett nails that, in the third quarters has been 26-13. They've been monsters in the third quarter. See if the Raptors can match it.
Parker, Calderon, Moon, 3-ball off the mark, and there's Garnett. 3 double-figure scores for the Boston Celtics. Tony Allen against Parker, and that's goaltending. So Boston starts the third quarter with 4 straight points as they increase their lead to 18.
Well, Doc Rivers has to be happy to see a player like Tony Allen attacking a basket. Chuck made a great move to get into the lane. By the time Chris Bosch was there to block it, he's just too close to the hoop.
Bosch is going to the free throw line 12 times in the ball game, and the mid-range jumper is good.
Even though he made that shot, I think the Boston Celtics are happy with everything being out in the perimeter for Toronto. Garnett had a hand up. Bosch made a tough shot. And the Celtics want the Raptors to stay out there.
They trap Pierce. Garnett swings it to Allen. Garnett against Nesterovic, teammates with the Minnesota Timberwolves. Pierce in a 3-ball, hit back rim, rebounded by Jose Calderon. Calderon, good look to Nesterovic.
Excellent pass, and Rasho Nesterovic running the floor. Never brought that ball down, Chuck. As soon as he hit his hands, just turned and flipped it off the glass.
The Celtics lead by 14. They've led by as many as 21. The Raptors have never led in this game. Garnett, they clear the side on an ISO against Nesterovic. With 3 on the clock. Shakes, turns, shoots, and missed.
A nice defense by Rasho Nesterovic. Active with the hands, moving the feet, making it a tough shot. That's the key right now. Contest every shot and take away the easy opportunities that the Celtics had in the first half.
And Calderon, his foot happened to hit the inline, and then he threw that ball, and it went off the glass.
Now, Nesterovic, obviously not as quick as Kevin Garnett, but he understands how to play him. He knows him from his time at Minnesota, his teammates. Staying down, look at his hands, active, moving the ball, and then playing position, moving the feet, getting the hand up.
Good late clock defense by Nesterovic. Garnett, too strong. And Bosch will bring it over the timeline, allowing Calderon to set it up. Jose Calderon, and a reach-in foul against Boston. This will go against Rondo. That will be his second.
I think if Calderon becomes a little bit more aggressive here, he can put a lot of pressure on Rondo. One, he has a size advantage, and his quickness off the dribble can put Rondo at a disadvantage.
Parker, Calderon. He's really working hard against Rondo. You're right, Will. Much more aggressively than he did in the first half. We go back to Garnett. Nice feed inside to Tony Allen.
He's got to go up strong, Jeff. And there's that potentially that lack of confidence with his knee. He's got to go up and finish that strong.
Jamario Moon flashes to the rim and a score. And the Raps are making a mini run here in Boston, trailing by only 12 at a 6-0 run.
Mario Moon's first step has to become an asset to him. He's got the quickness. He can't allow his defender to think that he's not going to put the ball on the floor and get to the basket.
And Pierce wants to attack Moon. Up, and he shoots 2. Very similar to what we saw in the first half with Pierce working against Moon.
And he looked over at Bill Kennedy, the official, said, get him off me. Get him off me. Here, Jamario, can't let Paul Pierce take a break on defense. Paul Pierce, he's too important a player for the Boston Celtics to allow him to rest on defense. And if Moon just takes jump shots, that's exactly what Pierce will do.
Our third quarter on the score. Brought to you by Hyundai. Chuck Swirsky along with Leo Rollins, Sam Mitchell, having a discussion with veteran official Bill Kennedy on that Pierce-Moon matchup. Pierce missed 2 free throws. You won't see that often, folks, for Paul Pierce. 82% free throw shooter from the line. They go inside to Nesterovic, and a hack and a foul.
Rasho once again presenting himself in the paint, Chuck. He came through the middle, hands up to the pass. Jose Calderon trying to get Rasho involved in this game as much as possible so the Raptors can get something done in the paint.
Tony Allen picks up his second. And that pass by Parker deflected by Garnett. We have 5 on the shot clock. Here is Calderon. Jamario Moon with a power move. And Greg Willard says he stepped on the sideline out of bounds.
Looked like his back foot, Chuck, may have caught the line there, and Sam Mitchell says, get inside the three-point line.
What a play by Rajon Rondo.
Again, Chuck, you got to make the adjustment defensively on Rondo. That's what he wants to do. He's done it for the entire first half, and here he is doing it again. Back off a little bit.
Bosch rejected by Perkins. What a swap by Kendrick Perkins. Then Bosch wants to go after Perkins, and they're going to wave it off. Traveling. Oh, I'd love to see that one again. Paul Graham, our producer, let's rack that baby up. Because after Bosch got a shot block, Leo, he wanted to go right after Perkins to the cup.
Well, I love the way Bosch came back on this. Surprise play by Perkins. You don't see this too often. Bosch got it back, said, I'm coming right at the basket again. Let's take one more look.
What do you think, Leo?
That was close.
And then Boston answers the crowd with a shot from 16.
Kevin Garnett continues to come up big.
58-42 Boston. Calderon to the rim. Parker, 3-ball. Weak side rebound, Paul Pierce. The outlet goes to Rondo. Here is Rondo. And he lost the handle, picks it up. Got tied up by Parker. And it's Raptor basketball. It's a 3-on-2. As Allen hustled back for the Celtics in transition D.
Rondo's guarding Rasho Nesterovic. See if the Raptors can get him the ball.
Bosch's shot, or rather pass, was deflected. Then Rondo goes to the floor and submarine by Bosch. I think Bosch is frustrated, Leo.
Yeah, it was definitely that was a frustration foul. Nesterovic had a post up on Rajon Rondo, and Bosch got that ball deflected, then trying to regain possession, commits the foul.
You can tell by Chris's body language right now. No player likes to get a shot blocked, number one.
Well, and it's been a frustrating game. So far, Bosch just 2 of 9. He's done a good job at the free throw line, 9 of 12. Does have 10 boards, but not his usual offensive game.
Tony Allen spots up at a 3-ball. No. Long rebound comes out to Calderon. Here is Calderon. Penetrating, brings it out on the wing for Jamario Moon. Moon is 2 for 5. The Raptors 4 of 11 shooting the 3-rock. Boston in possession with a big lead of 16. Rondo to the rim again. Swatted away by Jamario Moon and a loose ball foul on Rajon Rondo. So give Moon now 17 consecutive games with a blocked shot. The record is 21 set by Camby.
A great save by Moon, but how does Rondo get into the paint again? That's the question. You can't hope that you're going to get a great block every time this guy goes to the paint. Force him to his weakness.
Rondo with 3.
Yeah, Eddie House in the game now for Rondo. Eddie House deadly with the jump shot.
They're looking at him on the bench as well, Leo. I wonder if he got banged up. And throws down on a backdoor cut. Jamario Moon, that woke up this crowd. Calderon dropping his 5th down of the ball game. Garnett. Foul line extended left. Looks at the clock. 9 ticks. Garnett. Rebound. It's loose, and it's Tony Allen. New shot clock at 24. Pierce on a pull-up.
The veteran, Paul Pierce, tough move inside the paint. Earlier we saw that pass on Jose Calderon right over Rasho Nesterovic to Jamario Moon. Nesterovic clogging up the paint, and Moon just coming out of nowhere for the slam dunk.
So Jamario Moon with a dunk, a block, and 6 points. 60-44 Boston, 5:19 and running 3rd quarter on the score. Calderon giving it up. Jamario Moon. Nesterovic on a pump and a reverse. Did he walk? We have 3 seconds in the key. So it'll be Boston possession when we return. On the score, the Celtics in front by 16. And welcome back to Toronto on the Score. Our Hyundai Think About It, a little NBA trivia. What current NBA general manager played Major League Baseball? What current NBA GM played Major League Baseball? And if he could hit a curveball, he might be a Major League general manager in baseball. Well, Leo, it's 60-44. And Jamario Moon. And we know he can block shots, Leo, and this guy has done it now 17 consecutive games.
Yeah, Rondo getting into the paint, and Moon coming out of nowhere to make that block. Just a tremendous example of his athleticism.
21 for Camby, 20 for Keon Clark, Antonio Davis with 19. So good company with Jamario Moon.
And if you look at the other guys on that list, I mean, nobody really fits the bill of Jamario Moon. You're talking about guys that are taller, longer. You know, Tracy McGrady, even him at 6'9", has a big advantage over Jamario Moon. But he's got great quickness. He gets to the right angles to make the blocks. It's been a little bit more difficult in this game because of the veteran Paul Pierce. He does a great job of getting the body into you. He knows you want to block his shot, so he's going to try to get you to leave your feet as much as possible.
So we have Bosch along with Parker, Caputo, Calderon, and Bargnani. Eddie House. Raps caught a break. You can't leave him unattended in the corner.
Yeah, he's playing with fire every time he gets a clean look.
60-44 Boston. Calderon, the jump pass. Deflected, another turnover for the Raps. That is their 11th, leading to 12 Boston points. Pierce shaking, baking, using the left hand off the mark, and a tap with the left hand by Garnett.
Yeah, and Sam Mitchell furious with Andrea Bargnani. You got to put a body on Garnett. You have to push him out. Make sure he doesn't get that rebound.
Boston doing an outstanding job, Leo, closing out on that 3-ball. And that's a forced shot by Bargnani.
Well, and that's not going to endear him to Sam Mitchell. Number one, you don't block out. Now you pick up a foul trying to keep Perkins out of the paint. And you compound the problem by taking a tough shot at the other end of the floor. One more time, Bargnani and Garnett. Garnett just bustling his way in. Bargnani's right there. He's just getting pushed out right now. You're not going to jump with Garnett. He is too athletic. You have got to get down, lower your center of gravity, get your legs into your game, and push him away from the basket.
Posey at the 4-minute mark, 3rd quarter. Boston up by 18. Pierce wanted a foul, and it's Raptor basketball with Calderon. Calderon working on an 8-point, 5-assist, 4-rebound game. Parker, 3-ball. Nope, rebound Posey. Raptors shooting only 30%, 15 of 50.
Yeah, and they've had some good looks, Chuck. These are shots, makeable shots for this team. Just haven't been able to keep them down.
Boston's defense has a lot to do with some of these half-court sets. Allen with a pretty spin.
Yeah, much better that time. We saw him earlier just go up soft. That time turning right into the hoop.
That's 34 points of the paint for the Celtics. Only 14 for Toronto. It's a 20-point Boston lead after the Raptors came knocking on the door, close to within 12 here in the third. Caputo hounded by Tony Allen. His teardrop, no. Garnett, House in the paint, the pitch. We want to start thinking about a timeout here. Boston scores, and we got a travel. Yep, we do have a timeout. So, yeah, with 2:48 to go, Sam Mitchell, a tough night at the office for his team. 64-44 Boston. And welcome back on The Score. Chuck Swirsky, Leo Rums, our Hyundai. Think about it. Some NBA trivia / MLB. What current NBA GM played Major League Baseball? And the answer is Danny Ainge of the Toronto Blue Jays and the current GM of the Boston Celtics, also former head coach of Brian Colangelo with the Phoenix Suns.
I remember his days playing with the Blue Jays, Chuck. Obviously hitting a little bit of an issue for him, but you know what he used to do? He used to come over. You know, I used to play my high school ball at St. Mike's. I used to go work out at St. Mike's in Toronto. And Danny Ainge used to come by, play pickup ball with us for about 3 hours in the afternoon, and then go down to the Sky Dome to play baseball. So if you want, maybe he was a little tired. He couldn't see the ball as well from all the pickup ball in the afternoon.
I'll tell you what, he was a great player even in college at BYU. He won single-handedly a game.
Notre Dame, right?
Again, driving the length of the floor, put it up and over Orlando Woolridge. His time expired.
Scrappy player.
Bosh, nice move to the cup. Chris Bosh with a slashing knifing. He's got 15 points and 11 rebounds. His 11th double-double on the season. 64-46 Boston.
You know what's impressed me with this Celtic team, Chuck? A very workmanlike approach to the game. Nothing fancy. They're not playing any, they're not making unbelievable shots. They're just moving the ball, getting the right people the ball, just like that example right there. Eddie House, here's a shooter, get him shots, he'll make them more often than not. And defensively, everybody's playing. Everybody's doing what they're supposed to do.
I saw Eddie House before the game. I said, Eddie, after watching Caputo here in Toronto now, I think you two have maybe the quickest release along with Ray Allen in the NBA. It's just Caputo and me. Hey, Pac-10. I said, okay, enough of that. But Eddie House has been a tremendous addition. You're right, Leo.
Well, he keeps everybody honest. You just can't leave him alone. And when if Ray Allen's in the game, if you got Allen, Pierce, and Garnett out there, if you can't help any of those guys, that puts them in a win-win situation just by having Eddie House. It forces the defense to stay home.
His brother-in-law is Michael Bibby of the Sacramento Kings. Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett. Let's see, we've got Joey Graham, who will be coming in momentarily for the Raps, along with Carlos Delfino. Graham did not play against Indiana on Friday night, but at this point in time, when you're trailing 67-46, Leo, got to try anything, any combos. Derek Martin is going to be coming in for the Raptors as well. Leo, did you get a sense when you spoke to TJ Ford when he might be returning?
No, but he did say he was feeling better and actually surprisingly better considering the nature of the fall and how hard it was. But he said compared to the last time he got hurt, he was feeling much better sooner, which is positive.
He's got that corduroy look, Lou. I think you have started a trend. You came out with the corduroy.
Hey, I don't mean to, boast here, Chuck, but right afterwards you saw Chris Bosh come out with the corduroy the other night in Indiana. So, sometimes, trends got to start somewhere. You know what I mean?
Are you saying the other night you weren't digging my Al Capone stripes?
You've been breaking out the stripes quite often this year. I got to be impressed with that.
I'm getting some tips from Don Cherry.
Yeah, you got to throw in the high collars. You're laughing.
Here's Caputo. Now this could be interesting to see in the final, buck 15. what Boston runs, because you've got Pierce, and I would think you'd want to get the ball to Pierce. He's the go-to guy.
That's a pretty good guess there, Chuck.
Yeah, I would think so. They run an ISO play, and he got his shot blocked, and then Bosch stepped out of bounds with 5 on the clock.
A lot of contact right there. Pierce rightfully disputing that no call.
And we got a check on Paul Pierce.
Yeah, Paul Pierce had a little shove there to Carlos Delfino. Delfino just turned and looked at him and said, "Excuse me?" But Pierce obviously got fouled on that play. You know, he does a great job of using his body to get to on the baseline. Doc Rivers joining in, saying, "Hey, come on, this guy's too good a player to not give him that call." Another look from a different angle. Pierce going up and the slap on the arm. I don't know how you missed that, Chuck.
That's a foul.
You got 3 referees on the floor. That's kind of a hard foul to miss.
Yep. He got his $1,000 worth. I think he can afford it. He's making $16 million a year. The inbounds pass. Eddie House, no go. Rebounded by Bosch. Under a minute to go. 69-49, Boston. Derek Martin joining Bosch, Graham, Capono, and Delfino. Graham, Capono, good look. Jason Capono for 3.
Yeah, he hasn't had too many of those in this game where he can just catch and shoot. The Celtics have done a real good job of making Capono move every time he catches the ball.
And then Paul Pierce up top, 3 ball, rattles out, and we're going to have a loose ball foul on Big Baby Davis.
Well, he's a wide body, Chuck. Davis just cleared out Chris Bosch, and Bosch was doing everything he could to try to get around him.
Leo, at one point at LSU, he weighed 360. He's about 290
He
now.
looks like he's really trimmed down, and talking to the coaches, they're impressed with his work ethic to get his body in great shape.
Raptors trail by 17. Delfino flies to the rim, and a blocking foul against Boston.
Yeah, Paul Pierce shaking his head. He goes, "Wait a minute, I just got hacked at the other end. I got to get a technical. I don't get the call." And Delfino, really, that was pretty much an off-balance shot, Chuck. The officials gave him a break.
So this will put Delfino at the free throw line. Delfino has played 10 minutes tonight, couple of points. It's the 3rd meeting, Leo, between the two teams. The schedule's pretty odd. We have not seen what we haven't seen. Detroit, Miami, the Knicks.
Detroit, nobody's really talking about Detroit, but they're quietly doing a nice job. A veteran team playing good basketball right now. 8-2 in their last 10 games.
$13 seconds remaining. Rondo looks at the clock, fumble the ball. He's on Derek Martin, comes up shooting, scores. Now they're going to look at that replay to find out whether or not he got it off on time. So we go to the 4th quarter. Boston with a comfortable lead here at the Air Canada Center. You're watching Toronto Raptors basketball. On the score, Chris Bosch with a double-double. Rondo has been terrific. And the Raptors, they have got to have a big-time rally here, folks. And welcome back, our President's Choice Raptors basketball 3rd quarter stats brought to you by MGD.
Well, Celtics cooling down a little bit, but still above 50%. The Raptors, man, it's cold down there at 32%. Both teams about the same from 3. Raptors done a better job getting to the line. And rebounds even, assists advantage Boston, bench points almost even as well.
Now that's Cornbread Maxwell, former NBA player, and Sean Grande. And they're holding up the salami and cheese
Yeah,
song.
you've been getting a lot of grief.
Yes, from Boston.
Cornbread Maxwell, he was giving you grief in Boston, here today in Toronto, saying, "Hey, Chuck, where's the salami and cheese?"
Right now it's in the refrigerator and it's probably in the freezer, matching the weather outside.
He's been on your case.
Yes, he has
time.
been. Yes.
Of course, Cornbread Maxwell, one of my favorite players as a Boston Celtic, Chuck. Great sense of humor and just a fun guy to be around. And talk about a player, you know, people forget Cornbread Maxwell's 6'9". Yeah, he could handle the ball. He, like a little Magic Johnson to him, would handle the ball, dribble it up court, isolate players in the perimeter. Fun player to watch.
Played on that great team, North Carolina Charlotte team.
That's right.
Delfino, Capono. He has such a sweet stroke.
It doesn't need a lot of time to get it off. As I said, Celtics have done a good job of not allowing him too many of those looks. Now he's had back-to-back open jumpers. See if the Raptors can get him going some more.
We played just over a minute, fourth quarter on the score. 71-56 Boston. Derek Martin with a 3-jack. And here come the Toronto Raptors, folks. They closed the gap to 12.
And you know what that means. Here comes Kevin Garnett. Doc Rivers is getting set to put him back in the game.
Davis swings it to Pierce. Tony Allen. 4 on the clock. And a trip for the foul. As Rondo went to the floor. Derek Martin.
Number 2, Derek Martin.
There's Garnett.
First foul of the game, team foul number 1 for the Raptors. Boston's number 5, Kevin Garnett, returns to the floor.
Rajon Rondo has had a pretty good game here. Martin doing his best to try to contain him, and that time picking up the foul. Earlier, the jump shot. Good ball movement by the Raptors. Martin deep in the corner, knocks it down.
They take the ball out of Garnett's hands. Rondo trying to create the mid-range jumper. Nope.
Now see the difference. Derek Martin, the veteran guard, Chuck, he's been doing everything he can to keep Rondo on the perimeter, shooting jump shots and not driving the basket.
Bosh turns, flips it. Graham scores. Boston wants a timeout.
And Doc Rivers saying, hey, how about the 3 seconds?
Upcoming schedule, our next 3 games: Tuesday in LA against the Clips, Wednesday in Portland against the improving Blazers, and Friday against Seattle.
Jason Capono. Sorry, folks. I got a big kiss from Chuck Horsey there on the big arena screen, so I'm a little distracted right now as we're looking at these replays. And Raptors getting a little bit of a run going here. We're getting some good ball movement, getting the jump shots, and you know we got the kiss cam, and you know I got that look from you, Chuck. And wait, this is it. Oh, there's a lot of love right there, folks. There's a lot of love.
That's the extent of it, folks.
Well, I don't know. I had to take my headsets off. That was an aggressive kiss there, big fella.
Hug. All right, this crowd is fired up. 71-61 Boston. Here is Garnett with a touch after the timeout. Working on Bosh in a 2-man game with Eddie House. He turns, gives it up to Pierce. This crowd has really come alive. And Posey with a charge.
Ball movement by the Celtics. Posey turned. Nice job by Joey Graham to get there, and a little bit of an acting job, but the officials will take it right now.
This crowd is going bananas, Leo. Finally, the Raptors have given this crowd a sellout, something to cheer about. Capono! And the tap out Graham, and then Capono stepped on the sideline. Oh, had he hit that shot,
that
this place
big,
would have gone bananas.
But the one thing about this Raptors team, Chuck, and we've seen this last year, this year, Doc Rivers is aware of that, and that's why he had that timeout earlier, that they don't panic. Even when they're down, it's seemingly out of this ball game, they always manage to find a way to get back into it.
Working on Graham, turns, shoots, and scores.
Big ticket.
Yeah, that's why he is the big ticket, folks. 16 points, 6 rebounds. He has not gone to the line in 27 minutes. Raptors down by 12. Delfino off the mark. Rebounded by Posey. Kept it in play. Pierce. And over the shoulder, Delfino fouls him, and Pierce looks at Greg Willard. The officials insist it's about time. And our fourth quarter on the score, brought to you by the fine folks from MGD. Chuck Swirsky, Leo Routens, our producer is Paul Graham, our director, Hannah Troy Clare, along with Matt Bloom, Jump and Johnny Russell. Good job by Derek Martin. Put some quality minutes on the floor with Calderon returning. Garnett against Bosch. Double team. Nope. He forced that jumper.
Raptors, the way they got back into it, Chuck, they got some good ball movement, they got some good open looks. They don't have to rush now. Even though there's a sense of urgency, there's still time in this game to get good looks.
And then a turnover by Graham, and it's on the runway. Tony Allen dumps it down for Eddie House, and a foul on Toronto.
You notice the intensity of the defense pickup when Garnett comes back in the game. All of a sudden, those open looks disappear. The defense picks up dramatically. Everybody can take chances because Garnett's on the floor, and that allows you to be more aggressive.
Calderon picks up his first, Leo, and Parker is going to return, and he's coming in for Graham. Raptors committed 14 turnovers for 16 Boston points.
And Boston just 9 turnovers, but also for the Toronto, Chuck, 14 assists only, so a 1-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio. That's not winning basketball for the Raptors.
Pierce. Parker went to the floor, no whistle, and Paul Pierce finishes off the play.
And that's actually a tough play, Chuck. When a guy falls down in front of you like that, oftentimes it's enough of a distraction where players miss shots. Pierce calmly nailed it.
Pierce with 16. Parker. The delivery goes to Bosch. Backing in on Pierce. Backing in. Jarred out of his hands, and with 6 on the clock, Raps retain possession on the baseline with 7:45 remaining, 75-61. Boston, the Raptors have never led in this one.
Paul Pierce buying into the defensive aspect of this game for the Celtics, and there's no way Kevin Garnett wouldn't let him do that.
Pretty move, Chris Bosch. He's got a 17-point, 13-rebound game in 36 minutes. Point putting him on the bench. Raps don't play again until Tuesday. House. Posey. Isolated against Delfino. Tried an up and under. Good defense by Delfino. And the shot off the mark by Kevin Garnett.
Delfino got away with one there, Chuck.
You don't need to take that shot.
No, and that's a couple of shots Delfino was taking here in the last couple of minutes that a little bit ill-advised, to say the least.
I mean, he's been in a shooting slump 29% over the last 4+ games.
All the more reason to take your time. Yep.
Pierce, Garnett. Good catch by Kevin Garnett. And finds Eddie House from the corner, and that's a triple just before the clock expired. Eddie House.
Good basketball by Kevin Garnett, Chuck. He knew exactly how much time was on the clock, didn't force the shot, found the best option.
Raps need a high percentage shot. Try to generate something in the lane. They go to Bosch. Over Pierce.
And Boston appears to have slowly taken back this game. And again, it coincides with Kevin Garnett being back in. Sam Mitchell played with Kevin Garnett. He knows exactly what he brings to the table for this team.
Leading the shot clock once again, and Paul Pierce. You've got Garnett and Pierce on the floor, and they have scored, Leo, so effortlessly. And it's so smooth for these future Hall of Fame players. And welcome back, our Miller Genuine Draft MGD Smooth play of the game. That's when Jamario Moon with Apollo 33 landing here at the Air Canada Center.
Yeah, nice pass from Jose Calderon. Jamario Moon sneaking in on the baseline.
Jamario Moon also registered a block shot. His 17th consecutive game with a swat. Tough day at the office for Andrea Bargnani.
And Chuck, you know, I think when Sam Mitchell talks to Bargnani after the game, he's not going to talk about his shots. He's going to talk about his defense and the competitive nature when he comes in a game. He's got to be physical. Last 3 games, 12 minutes, just 3 points, 3 of 10 from the field. And, you know, I don't think he's getting taken out of the game because of his inability to make shots right now. He's getting taken out of the game because he's not competing at the defensive end and on the glass. It's been a difficult transition for Andrea this season. Maurizio Gardini, obviously very close to Andrea Bargnani. He's known him since he was a youngster and trying to get him back on track.
And if the Raptors need a guy like Bargnani, he can spread the defense, Leo. He is so skilled.
Oh, remember when Andrea Bargnani's at his best, he puts the ball on the floor, he hits that long 3-point shot, and he does help you out in the glass. And, you know, even though he's not a great defensive player, he's still a 7-footer that can get up and alter your shot.
Celtics going for their 9th straight win and 20th overall. 80-65 Boston. They're unbeaten when they lead after 3 quarters, Leo. That's a little bit sleepy. They've only lost 2 games all season.
Well, you know, they're unbeaten because they clamp down defensively and they really get up on you, and they do a great job of getting you out of your comfort zone. They don't want to give you the shots. Doc Rivers understands that, you know, the guys, everybody's got their pet shots. Everybody's got their comfort zone. He completely takes you out of that.
7 on the clock. A 3 ball by Tony Allen. And that's just about done it for the Boston Celtics with 4.5 to go. They lead by 18. Calderon got tied up in a steal by Posey. And this is Allen against Humphries. And Tony Allen missed a layup.
Now, when he went up that time, Chuck, it didn't look like he really wanted to go up. And I think you still got to get over that with his knee. He had an opportunity to go right at Humphries and kind of stayed on the ground, went into the body, but never really tried to get up and attack the rim.
Meantime, Parker with a charge, and Andrea Bargnani comes in.
Now, some people call this garbage time, Chuck.
I don't believe in garbage
time. For Andrea Bargnani, this is an important time as he comes into this game. And I think his teammates, specifically the point guard, Derek Martin, when you're coming in this game, there's a lot of things you want to try to accomplish, especially as the veteran guy. One of them is getting Andrea Bargnani some looks to get his confidence up, and for Andrea, work at the defensive end.
Raptors with Moon, Graham, Bargnani, Martin, and Humphries. Pierce still on the floor with Garnett. Eddie House in front of the Raptor bench. Wide open, wide open.
Well, how many times have we seen Garnett find Rajon Rondo in the short corner, Eddie House in the deep corner? He's got 6 assists in this game. Nice block by Posey. When you become predictable offensively, Chuck, that's when you get your shot blocked. When you don't react to the defense, don't play against your man. It sounds simple, but you really do have to react. If you just go up with your mind made up what you're going to do ahead of time, that's when you get your shot blocked. That's when you pick up charges.
Glenn Davis will be coming in for Boston in the next dead ball with 3:15 remaining. 86-65 Celtics. Jamario Moon. That's a triple for Moon, who has 8 points in 17 minutes. Celtics go west, Leo, the day after Christmas. And you mentioned that schedule right now, at least for Boston. has not been the toughest, but still they've gotten the job done.
That's right. You know, they have one of the easier schedules. There's an offensive foul by Joey Graham. But it's one thing to have an easy schedule. It's another thing to take care of business and win the games you're supposed to win.
So, Sam Mitchell and the Raptors. It's been a long, long afternoon at the Air Canada Center. Ford coach's edge as Sam Mitchell was trying to get Bosch involved and also look at Kevin Garnett.
Well, Kevin Garnett's pretty much done what he's wanted in this game. Bosch, even though he's got decent numbers, Chuck, it's been a struggle for him offensively. 4 of 12. Kevin Garnett has answered the call. When his team struggled, they put him in the game. He gets the stops. He's made some good shots. Chris Bosch, 17 and 13. Jose Calderon, just 5 assists in this game. A lot of that has to do, obviously, with shooting percentages of your teammates, but a high turnover game for Calderon, 3 turnovers.
Davis is fouled. Very most disappointing game for the Raptors. They were really looking forward to this game, Leo, after losing a close one here in Toronto in early November on an Allen 3 ball that won it, and then getting blown out in Boston some 10 days ago or so. And so they'll have one more crack at the Boston Celtics, and they're going to win. Boston's going to win the season series by some chance. If there's slippage on Boston, it comes down to a tiebreaker. Boston will win it.
Well, Doc Rivers, his team, very, very focused. And you made the point, Chuck, with the delay in the game. You looked over and you saw Kevin Garnett, no smiles, all business. And guess what? If he's doing it, his teammates are doing it. And they came out in that third quarter, as they have all season long, and continue to keep the pressure on the Raptors.
Humphries count it. As Garnett, I learned a lot about Garnett, Leo, that exhibition game that was televised globally against the Raptors. His first game, exhibition, first game in a Boston uniform. He played like it's the 7th game of the finals.
You talk to anybody that's been around Kevin Garnett, and that's what they talk about. The Raptors, some long faces on their bench. But Garnett is the first one out for practice. He's the last one to leave. His intensity is unparalleled, maybe in this league, not just with the Boston Celtics.
Well, the beauty of the NBA, you go right back to work, 4 games in 5 nights starting Tuesday.
Celtics continue to move the ball, Chuck.
Shooting 51%, the Raptors at 37%. I am really impressed with Boston's defense, Leo. And they're going to call a charge on Andrea Bargnani. He cannot get a break. Our Gatorade Game X Factor. Leo selected Chris Humphries. Good job by Hump. 12 points, 8 rebounds. And Big Baby Davis.
Of course, doesn't need to do as much with Garnett and Pierce on the floor. Go back to that last move by Bargnani, Chuck. Remember I said earlier that when you're frustrated or you don't have the confidence, you make up your mind what you can do ahead of time, and that's why you pick up offensive fouls. That's why you get your shot blocked. You can't do that. You got to react to the defense, and when you're struggling like Andrea is, you're not reacting. Everything is very much a struggle, and he's just got to relax and play the game, which he's not doing right now.
We have 1 minute remaining. 88-73 Boston. Boston, they led coast to coast. And a block by Humphries on Davis. Mario Moon. We're down to 33 seconds remaining as the Raptors will see their 4-game win streak come to an end and drop to 14-11, 8-6 at home, and now they get 7 straight on the road. We won't be back here until January the 4th.
The Raptors have a long stretch, as you pointed out, but Kevin Garnett, even sitting out at the end of the game, Chuck, vocal, talking, pointing out different things this team can do. The big two to no Ray Allen. Pierce and Garnett, 18 for Pierce, 6 rebounds. Garnett, 16 and 8. But
the effect of Garnett defensively and on a player like Pierce, Chuck. Have you seen Pierce as defensively focused this season compared to the rest of the career? I mean, you know, Garnett, when Garnett's on the floor with you, you better play defense.
Well, this is the window of opportunity for Garnett, Allen, and Pierce to get a ring. 32 seasons in the NBA combined, not one trip to the finals for any of them.
Yeah, and it's one thing to say you're all willing to do that, but they've come in and really sacrificed. They've made it clear that they will play together, they will share the ball, they will do whatever it takes. And if the early season is any indication of what this team is capable of and what those three are capable of, it looks good for Boston.
So the Celtics, with their 9th straight win, 10 of 11, they'll go to 20-2. 20-2.
Incredible. Best start in 2 decades for the Celtics.
There's Mario Boone. Fans love number 33. So we've got the end of the game here at the Air Canada Center, and Boston wins it 90-77. Garnett and Pierce brought their A game. Rondo very effective off the dribble today as the Celtics lead this series down 3-0. And the Raptors hit on the bird to Los Angeles, weather permitting, right after the ball game. Final 90-77 Celtics, as Boston shooting 49% of the ball game. And Leo Rowton standing by with Paul Pierce.
Thanks, Chuck. Paul, how much fun is this for you after all your struggles in Boston to play with a group like this?
It's fun. You know, you got a group of guys who love to be around each other, who making the commitment each and every night. That's what we need. You needed the veteran guys. In the past, we had a lot of young guys, but, you know, my time in Boston, I just stayed patient, and now the time has come.
What's surprising everybody is the commitment to the defensive end. That's where you guys are winning ball games.
Definitely. We know that offensively, it's not going to be there every night. So defensively, we want to make that commitment night in and night out regardless. I mean, we only scored 90 points. We've been averaging 100 points a game. But the defense really stepped up for us tonight.
You know, a lot of times when players are put in a situation where they got to compromise and share the ball, it becomes difficult. It doesn't seem like there's any adjustment for you, Kevin, and Ray.
No, because we like to play with each other. And, you know, it's fun getting these guys the ball because I know they're capable of. I don't have to shoulder a whole load by myself like I've done in the past. And these guys are more than capable. And we just love to be around each other.
Well, thanks very much, Paul.
Thank you.
Paul Pierce, 18 points in 41 minutes. Chuck.
All right, Leo Rowton, thank you very much. So Paul Pierce and the Celtics victorious here in Toronto for the 2nd time this season.